It's just too much.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. He said that, you know, he just felt that you run around and it's, you know, it is supposed to be a holiday after all.
Oh. I said them, we take, we come by the time.
I read through these at the weekend and thought, you need to read them again. Good brain isn't hanging on to.
My brain hasn't functioned for a while. Last weekend we were singing, I was singing the Rock Your Cots,
I'm going.
John Sasson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, an amazing piece of work.
Where was that?
I'd like to go. I wanted to go, so I didn't.
It's so new,
Yeah.
but there's only one recorded version of it. So
Yes,
I didn't anticipate it.
and I thought I'd get to that.
and it's done as many of the other fashions are, give hymns. All of which are well-known hymns, but Bob Talk was written in tune for each one. And it finishes with the last name Wondrous Home.
Take that.
It's a wonderful tune.
Yeah.
And we sound us now, the whole place is ringing because it was so loud. And there was just a silence, and then people just totally erupted.
Just
Amazing.
What? Oh, it's very odd, isn't it? It's very kind of something.
Richard.
Go swapping sides, crossing the floor.
I can't, I've gone, I was trying to wrap it.
Good evening, everybody. It's now 6:30, not 7:15, as the clock says. So ignore that. And we will start the meeting. So welcome to everybody. And once again, I need to remind you to show respect to all throughout the meeting in line with the obligations of the code of conduct. Do we have any apologies for absence other than Richard?
Oh, from the clerk.
Yeah, from the town clerk.
Did you say Estelle?
Estelle,
It's
oh, yeah.
Just that one.
okay. Do we have any members of the public online? We have David France online. Hi, David.
No members.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, minutes and matters arising. I have disclosure of interest. Oh, sorry, go back to the last one. Have we got any disclosures of interest of relevant dispensations? No? Thank you. Right, so now we'll move on to the minutes, which were the minutes of the 18th of February. Doesn't seem that long ago. If I go by them, page 1, if anybody's got anything that they want to raise, just shout out. So page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, and page 5. Does somebody want to propose this one? Thank you, Alison, and Bill has seconded them. All those in favour? The dates, which is combination. Thank you. Matters arising from the minutes, you'll see the action log and decisions. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but they were all approved by full council the following week. Now, all the other items are on the agenda again this week. We'll move on to item 5, business planning and financial matters. So 5.1 are the council accounts, which are February period 11, and you have 2 appendices, which is Appendix C and Appendix D. Appendix C is the very simple graph showing our position as compared to previous years. Obviously, coming to the end of the financial year, we have less money as we're spending it. But I think it goes to show that we've got considerably in a better position this year than last year and certainly the year before.
Yeah.
And Appendix C is the income and expenditure. So I'm going to go through that page by page. If anybody's got any questions, if they stop me when we get to that page. So page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4.
All these papers are what's to raise for half long, isn't
You want to go, Bill? Page 5. And page 6. Personally, I just have one query on the account, and that is why all of the HMRC lines up over budget. I think it's a budgeting error from last year, which I can't understand because that would be, we would know what the HMRC thinks would be.
Yes, you're correct. I remember querying this much earlier on, and it's a budgeting error, and of course we keep seeing it.
By the previous.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I have one query just on page 4. Because I don't quite understand 4400 vehicles. We have an actual year to date of 10,145, current annual budget of nil, percentage spent nil. I mean, I think we spent rather more than we budgeted.
I think we've discussed this a number of times throughout the year. Again, it was a budgeting error last year. We purchased.
Yeah, it's just that why 0% is what we're.
They're not.
Yes. I mean, maybe not applicable or something would be better than the 0%.
Yeah, I think with the software, it's either.
Yeah.
Not or something.
I presumed it probably was that, but I thought I'd ask the question anyway.
Any other queries on the accounts?
I'm happy to propose that we accept.
Thank you, Alison.
Secondly.
Thank you, Bill. So, all those in favour of accepting the accounts? Thank you. That's unanimous. Okay, 5.2, payments of invoices for March, which is Appendix E. That is 3.5 pages of that. Any questions on any of those payments? Quite a few of them have already been paid because they're direct debits or paid through by use of the bank card.
Yes,
Alison?
I have one, and I think we have discussed this before, but I'm not absolutely sure. The Welshpool Town Bowling Club, the £9,000.
Yeah.
Is this because we are out of contract?
This is
Because the contract was very specific and it wasn't announced like this.
I think that £9,000 covered 2 years. We were in arrears with them. We hadn't paid them for last year or this year for their grounds maintenance. And it was agreed at one finance committee, or was it ops committee, Phil? That we should honour what they're expected, but we won't be paying anything else now until the lease has been renegotiated.
Right, thank you, thanks.
That was my understanding, I think.
Thank you. I knew there'd been something,
But that was a separate decision by council, so.
Right, thank you.
Been agreed.
Thank
Good to see
you.
that it's now been paid.
Apart from that, I'm happy to propose them.
Thank you, Alison. The seconder to propose we
Nobody else has
agree this
voted.
payment. Thank you, Bill. All those in favour? Any abstainments? Thank you, Bill. Okay, scrutiny, 5.3 scrutiny of payments over you, councillor Church, and I believe it was your pleasure to do that.
I haven't been asked to do it, so I haven't done it.
Oh, right. So are you
I'm
arranging?
happy to do it, perhaps if we can arrange a time for me to do it, but, yeah,
Okay,
I was sort of expecting an email or a phone
I
call.
think it's generally, it's just left to us to
yeah,
Okay,
make arrangements.
it's usually, when
initiate.
can I come in and do it?
fine, well, I could probably do it tomorrow or Friday, maybe.
Thank you.
You probably need the town clerk. Yeah,
I need a town clerk.
yeah, because he'll provide you with the
Okay,
information.
so, he's on holiday for a week.
No,
No,
He's
it's back
back
tomorrow.
He's back
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll drop him a message.
call it, yeah.
Okay, and then you can feed back next to the next financial.
Sure, yeah.
I can't remember who's next on the list. We do have people, so if you have offered to do it and you were on the list, then you do need to contact them yourself.
I'm not on the list because and I'm not clear, I may be wrong, because I'm chair of audit, I'm not on the list. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Or doesn't it matter?
I think it makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I thought,
I
yeah.
think that's what was agreed, but
Yeah.
I can't
without the town clerk being present, we
No,
probably
he'll
can't
know.
give a
Yeah.
precise answer.
No,
But I know we did have 3 more people after.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
So
after
I know-
Thursday.
I know that I'm one of them, but I don't know whether I'm next or next or after.
Maybe we could look back at the minutes and
It's in the minutes.
remind those people that they are, so whoever
Need to do.
is due to do last month's. Because it's always in arrears, so remind them that they are supposed to invite them to contact them. To arrange a time. Okay. Then going on to 5.4, which is the strategic plan. We do have some greens on it this time, and quite a lot of it is either ongoing or in progress. Anybody got any comments, questions on this?
There's nothing not started.
Okay. Well done to everybody who has been involved in those actions. Okay, item 6 is carry forward 2005-26, and for that you have appendix G, which is report for the town clerk. So he is proposing to carry £2,000 to support the development of the new tourism branding, which is a lot of one-off small costs that will obviously mount up. Some money from Meals and Wheels, which obviously we will no longer be spending to carry 1639 to fund repairs on the van, as the repairs have been booked in, but the invoice is unlikely to be received before the year end. So that will need to be carried forward. Special projects in the admin budget to carry forward the 9,007 to complete the Mice Drain scheme works as agreed in February by council, so it has already been done. 430 equipment in admin to carry 2618 to allow for further office equipment and much needed storage. And obviously it's reported elsewhere on the agenda, but the newsletter to carry forward 1303 as a newsletter has been delayed until May due to the pre-election.
This all looks very sensible and very necessary in order to speed things up and keep things moving, so I'm happy to propose that we accept
And I'll
this.
second that.
Thank you, Alison. All those in favour of the Green recommendation to approve the carry forward of the following unspent budget allocations into the next financial year, as set out in section 2. Will you say yes, Richard?
Sorry, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Thank you. So moving on to strategy and policy. We have 2 policies tonight. The first one is the civic and ceremonial protocol. And can I thank all the people who are on this working group for the work they've done, because it's produced some very good stuff, which I think is quite clear and will help to clarify things for everyone really. So has anybody got any, if I go through this protocol, this isn't a policy, it's a protocol. So if I go through it just page by page, if anybody's got anything they'd like to comment or query on it. So it's page 1, page 2, page 3.
Sorry, can I, beg your pardon? Yeah, can I just go back to attendance at funerals? Does this presumably doesn't preclude the mayor from attending the funeral of a past councillor who might, I mean, it's only that they will attend, it doesn't mean that they won't.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right, so
That's correct.
just wanted to make that clear, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that particularly for a long-serving former councillor, it would be appropriate.
And similarly, official representation doesn't rule out other people attending.
No,
So,
How far did I go?
you just go into page 3.
Page 4.
Yeah, so-
Right, on bottom of page 3, I think we need the word full. So when chairing full council meetings, not every council meeting, so it could be that the mayor is also chair of a committee,
Oh, right.
right? So it's when they are at full council meetings, so we just need the word full in there.
Yeah.
Can I make a note?
Everybody happy with
could I
that?
also suggest on the same sentence, that the word only and will are swapped round, because the way it reads at the moment,
Yes.
the mayor will be wearing only chair.
Yes,
Which might be all right in the middle of summer, but it could be cold in the winter.
and I think it's probably illegal even in the summer.
Yes, 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 that's a good point.
That's a picture to put in.
Chair will only normally be, well, yeah, I'm not quite sure what the
Will-
order should be.
Normally, only be worn,
Yes,
yes,
Normally,
will normally only be worn.
Yeah.
The piece about procession just reminded me to ask a question which is nothing precise to do with this, but just generally that there has in the past been a ramp up the steps by Grace Evans' cottage.
Yes,
Is that ramp still around, or is that
No.
died to death?
it's the ramp the men made, and
It's been condemned, it's
Yes.
Right.
not safe, not
Yeah.
fit for purpose anymore, no.
No.
It's just I was asked a question about it the other day, and this reminded me to ask that question there. Yeah, thanks.
if we were to have a disabled councillor again, could they access it via the cobbled path on the other side?
No, they should.
Just
Shall
for-
I- They can go up Red Bank in a vehicle, up Red Bank, down the path, and actually there is a flat entrance at the back that is a disabled entrance.
Right.
So they wouldn't be able to process, but they would be able to be in church.
so page 4, page 5.
I think
Sorry, councillor Francis put this hand up.
Just a question whether the group writing this document was kind enough to consider, say, councillors who might practice faiths other than Christianity. Maybe it's not so difficult for someone who's an atheist just to nod along, but if you were explicitly a member of a different faith, thinking of attending a church service and saying prayers, and this spotting the thing. I mean, it's an issue close to my heart, perhaps, but obviously in a very different context. In this case, wearing hats, if from certain religious backgrounds where wearing a hat is mandatory. Just to be clear, I am not in such a group. That is not why I raised this point. But yes, just a question on whether we considered being inclusive.
Sorry, Alison, you do.
Right, Dave, yes. We did consider this, and if you look at 6, which is notice of mayoral intentions, the purpose then is that if this was likely, then it would, there is an opportunity there to move the venue. Of course, the issue is, which we were aware of, and there are a level of practicalities, is the time between the election of the mayor and the civic service, noting that invitations to many people, including the lieutenant and the MP and others, will have to go out very quickly, then it's getting that right. But we did discuss it, and that is why it's said in that way. So it's not specific, but it mentions it in point 6.
Okay.
Does that help?
That does answer my question. Yes, thank you.
Councillor Rowley?
Yes, this is also the reason why we are moving from something called Mayor's Sunday to a civic service, because the service is for the whole town and about the whole council, and not centred on any one person. And therefore it needs to take account of the fact that there will be those of other faiths or none attending, both within the council and beyond. That needs to be, that's something that I'll be working on with the vicar as we look at what form of service would be appropriate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
Thanks, Jeff. Just to say that in the past, it's been convention that the mayor of the day has some input into both the constitution of the service, the Sunday service, and indeed quite a lot of the other things in this. I just wanted to clarify whether this is intended to be binding on all subsequent mayors, or whether they will retain a measure of discretion. Some have not wanted a service at all. So will they still have that ability to change or decline any of these things? That's the only thing.
I think the feeling was that there ought to always to be a civic service or civic event, which is not centred on any one person because they happen to be mayor or whatever. But it's certainly nonetheless the case that whoever is elected mayor should have some input into what is done, how it's done, and conceivably where it happens. There is still basically a Christian ethos about our town, but that doesn't mean that it needs necessarily always to be a Christian service. But I think the sense of it might not happen because the mayor doesn't want it. I think we are probably saying it's a civic service. It should happen every year in some form.
I'm not happy with that situation at all. I believe that we need to be on a level playing field all the way through, quite honestly. And if you want to change things, then do standing orders. Because quite honestly, it would be ridiculous if it just, I know it was put on council, we'd be unlucky enough for it to happen. One mayor comes in 1 year, no, I don't want one. One said, the next one says, yes, I want one. The next one says, I want them to wear red berries. I want them to wear this. And it'd be chop and change all the time. And in the eyes of the townspeople, that would be ridiculous, right? I think it has to be static, one rule, and that's it. And if you want to change it, change your standing up, put it in your standing order and change it there. so that it is the will of the council, not just an individual.
I think that's, our thinking was basically in that direction. We wanted it to be a civic service, therefore something that happens given with a given form all the time. And other councils locally call what they have a civic service, and it has that function, not being about someone becoming mayor particularly, but about celebrating the life of the town and therefore involving the whole town. I think there should be an input by the mayor, but it needs to be an input taking into account the basics of what will always happen.
Things must be a council decision, not an individual decision.
And this protocol makes it a council decision.
Yeah.
And as people may know, I am an atheist, so and having read this, I don't have any worries that people will be not able to not express their faith or express their faith in doing it, which I think it is important.
Yeah, in fact, and that's one other thing from the point of view of having been the vicar who led the service on several occasions. I always did that in the expectation and awareness that there would be people there who didn't share the faith that I had, and they needed to be as fully included as was possible.
As you say, Christian ethos. Makes every does
About inclusivity.
Okay, does anybody like to, sorry, Richard.
Sorry, yeah, thank you, Maura. Yeah, and like you, I'm an atheist, and when I was mayor of another town in England, we held a non-religious service. We did it in the church. Can be done perfectly easily.
Yeah.
I think there may be. I think this is something that the incoming mayor should have a major say in, and I think if the incoming mayor were to defer, for instance, that it was held in the assembly room here, then in my view that would be fine. Only clearly we might have somebody who would rather it be held in the Methodist chapel or wherever. And I think we need to remember that in Wales the church is disestablished, different from England, and therefore that there should be that flexibility.
Or the Catholic.
That's what we do.
Yes.
Sorry?
Or the Catholic Church.
Yes, or the Catholic Church.
Right, so
David, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I would like to agree very strongly with Richard here. If I were mayor, as I am very firmly an atheist, I would be very much in favour of doing something for myself as mayor. That is not obligating other mayors to do different things, but that is something that I would be minded to do. You know, very well may never happen, but hypothetically, a future mayor may wish to do this. So yes, my reading of the document is that it does allow for such things. It doesn't normalise any one religion or indeed religion at all, and does leave the exact arrangements of the civic ceremony to the elected civic leader of the council. I just wanted to make sure that our collective understanding was the same.
Yeah, I would also say that the civic service this year is immediately after the full council meeting at which the mayor will be elected. There's no reason why that should continue to be, because it's a civic service. It's not specifically about that. And indeed, the one that was held last year in Newtown was in the autumn. So we might reasonably reflect on what point in the year might be a good point to have the service. Maybe towards the end of June, when we are getting towards the end of the school term, the school year. Obviously, if you stray into the holidays, you lose the children's organisations to some degree. But you know, that's something that would then give enough time for the mayor to be properly involved in the planning process.
however, on that point, I think Richard said to us at the time that the purpose of the service is to introduce the mayor to the public. And the longer you leave it, the less relevance that is. I think the key point is that the service is ecumenical, non-religious if needed. It is a service, it is a civic service, it is not Mayor's Sunday, it is not the Mayor's Day, it is the council and our civic society.
So Bill, last.
I'm sorry, I would say far too much, but I would just want to say that I think it is introducing the mayor to town is a purpose of the service, but not the purpose of the service.
Okay, so would
What
anybody
is
like to
the purpose of the
propose?
service if it's not?
Well, I would say it is to celebrate the life of the town as something that we
Have
could be
that
doing
any old
together.
time though, couldn't you?
You could,
Yeah.
yeah.
Going on what Richard said when we had the meeting, but I'm happy to propose it.
Okay, thank you, Alison. Seconder for that?
Yeah, I'll second.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. All those in favour, so what we're proposing is to put this to full council next week. Any against? Or any abstentions? Let's abstain. Thank you.
This is contributed to it.
Okay.
Mm.
The second policy that we do is a policy, and it is the flag flying and lighting policy. So again, I'll go through this. I hope you've read it. I'll go through it page by page. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Anybody got any comments on that? Phil?
I think I'm right in saying that the position of prominence for the flagpole is always going to be on the left, on the Dexter side, regardless either of the height of the flagpole or the size of the flag. It's the position relative to the viewer that is of importance from a heraldic point of view, not the height.
The height.
And we have that on the town hall, it will be flown on the right because it's higher. Doesn't follow. Just we can fly it on the right, I don't mind, but it's more correct to fly it on the left as looked at from the viewer, regardless of position or size.
Okay,
I would totally agree with that, Chair.
okay.
I suppose that view.
So are we suggesting we make that change, that it is
Yeah.
on the left, regardless of the height of the flag? Any other comments about the flag? The only, I worked it out, I think, by myself in the end, is that we don't mention, because obviously we approved not long ago for the carnival, we'll be putting Wales flags all the way up the street. But they are not council building, this is what I worked it out, so this is actually with,
Yeah.
just for flags on our building. Anybody want to propose that we forward this to full council, but with that amendment?
Yeah, well, I'm proposing, I
Okay.
was seconding what the mayor was saying, but
So are you proposing that then with that amendment?
It would be more correct.
Yeah.
It's up to us where we fly it. Really, I suppose nobody's gonna.
I was thinking.
Right, but it is more correct to have it.
Yeah, but let's be correct, I think.
Very nice.
And you're seconding that. Yeah, all those in favour? Thank you, David. Did you vote them?
No.
Are you abstaining?
Yes.
Good. So moving on to 7.2, which is One Voice Wales membership 26-27. And you have an appendix for that, which is the letter from One Voice Wales to advise us of membership for the year. Richard?
I'm happy to propose that we renew our membership for the forthcoming year. I think they've provided
Bill?
good service, and I think it's good to see us getting involved in
Proposed and seconded.
work.
All those in favour?
Do we need
Thank
to
you, Dave.
discuss this every year? Can't we have a standing renewal?
I know you have to discuss, because it increases in price.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
that's a question we need to ask.
And
It could be a.
It does increase in price though,
Oh,
so you
yes.
have to come,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Carried unanimous.
thank you.
Okay, other matters, I've mentioned this before, 8.1, our Welshpool newsletter, the next edition of our Welshpool will be delayed until May due to the pre-election per the protocol. But it will be coming, I'm sure you're already working on it, aren't you? Richard's working on it. And was it under? Okay, to receive items, item 9, to receive items for consideration by the town clerk for future agendas, and to note that the next meeting of Finance and Governance Committee will be held on the 15th of April at 6:30. Yes, my friend, anticipate. Anything anybody particularly wanted on the agenda? That's the end of yearish stuff, isn't it? Okay, item 10, confidential session. To resolve if required